Now that we're at a different altitude and you were out gardening and, getting your garden ready and stuff, what are some tips that you have for the viewers on eye care now that we're going into, well, I guess it doesn't matter whether it's the warmer summer or winter because we have, I know even in the winter, like when I go to shovel, if the sun's out, that glare from the snow is blinding. And it's like,
Mhm.
I need my sunglasses, and you don't think so. So what are some of the tips for, especially in Colorado Springs, where we are, our weather and stuff, you know, how can we protect our eyes, and what are your suggestions?
Well, I think what you want to really make sure is that you are wearing sunglasses, but that you're wearing sunglasses that have a permanent UV filter. So you want it to actually be built into the lens and come from a reputable source. So it's really tempting to grab these cheap sunglasses from a gas station or like, I don't know, like Target or Walmart, because you can accessorize. But the problem is that a lot of them may have a spray-on coating
Oh,
to protect your eyes against the UV. So you clean the glasses a couple of times and then you just have a dark lens. So
oh,
the problem with that is a dark lens actually dilates the pupil more and lets more harmful light in.
oh,
So
wow.
it's important, just I think that that's just something to think about when you're shopping for sunglasses because our sun is so harsh here, just to make sure that you know that what you're buying is actually going to have a permanent filter.
Right. And we're all always cleaning our glasses because
They get smudgy.
it's windy, we've got dirt roads, and there's all kinds of stuff going around. I mean, look at our windshields. you know when
Yeah.
we're outside hiking or gardening or just even sitting outside just enjoying, there's a lot of stuff that's blowing around and stuff, so we are doing that. I didn't realize that it was just like a spray on, and that there is such a difference. Now I do prefer getting a prescription sunglass just because of my issues, and if I'm going to wear glasses anyway, I might as well get them prescription. So I
Yeah.
would be okay with that because they're prescription and that would be built in.
Yes.
So is there, are there places to buy that aren't necessarily at the, at the clinic or at an eye specialist that actually have it baked in, or is it all the ones that are commercially out there, are they all just coated?
There are some that do have it permanently, and you'd have to really research each brand individually. I think
Yeah.
it's really not a very well regulated industry. So we do any eye care practice you go to, though, I think you can be confident that you're going to be getting sunglasses with a permanent filter. They're not going to be carrying just dark lenses in there. I
Right.
hope.
Right. So your recommendation is, you know, come to the eye care clinic, and whether it's a prescription or not, let's get you the right sunglasses so you're protected if you don't need a prescription, sunglass because of your eyes are okay. Let's still get you quality protection.
Yeah, your eye care provider is going to be the best source for that so that you can be confident that your eyes are protected. And you can even get sunglasses for as little as $40. You don't have to spend $400 if you don't. You can if you
Right.
want. It's fun, but you don't have to.
Right. Well, that's good to know, because, like you said, people don't necessarily get sunglasses if they don't need a prescription at, their eye doctor. They go Walmart or, Target or whatever, and pick them up. But the biggest thing is now, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. Prevention is always necessary. And even though we've done like my at my age, I've done my damage, let's not make it worse.
Yeah.
So if there's something we can do to make it at least stabilize it, because now we've got the right thing. So one of the any viewers, a takeaway would be, you know, your sunglasses, check them. You know, where did you get them? And let's figure out. Now, do you believe in the supplements for eye care?
Yeah, I think that I actually take them. I take MacuHealth, and it's a lutein and a zeaxanthin supplement. It supplements the pigment and the macula. The macula is the only place in your retina where you can even see 20/20, but it's just very protective against that, against damage from the sun and as well as damage from our computer screens,
Oh,
the lights from the computer screens. So yeah, those are I take those, and I also take fish oils. Um, Fish oils are good for you no matter what, but they're especially helpful for people who suffer with dry eyes.
all right. Yeah.
Yep.
And especially looking at our computers or our phones or whatever. I'm guilty. I have very dry eyes,
Mhm.
and it's just like, all right. But I'm also very sleep deprived too. So I got the, trifecta going or whatever.
Yeah,
So do you have any tips for dry eyes?
I do. We actually offer several dry eye treatments. I mean, I think almost anyone in Colorado has experienced it at one time or another, and some people are really debilitated by it. Our goal is to try and get patients to produce their own tears because those are going to be the best. So we do offer heat therapies in the office that have been very successful. So even some people who have dropped out of using contact lenses because of dry eyes have been able to resume contact lens wear because of that. And then, just we do diagnostic testing to determine which type of dry eyes people have because sometimes it could be an actual tear production problem, but for the majority of us, it's an evaporation issue because of, again, computers. You gotta blame the evil computers.
Right.
But that's the majority of the issue. So we really do make it a goal to try and help people produce their own tears.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I personally, I subscribe to the thought of anything we can do naturally or
Mm-hmm.
holistically first in any of the health is the best. Let's get to the root of the issue and try and address that and not just throw band-aids on things uh,
Yeah.
for long term. So I like that you have other things and it's not just surgery or a prescription, and that you have other options. I've never heard of the heat thing though. What's that?
We use radio frequency on the eyelids, and it actually we're able to. So I don't know if you've ever heard some people will do hot compresses at home on the eyelids to try and heat up the glands, the meibomian glands in the eyelids. Well, that may work for a couple of minutes, but what we found is we need to get that oils much hotter inside the eyelids. So we do in-office heat therapies that way, so we can actually come through and get rid of the clogged glands. We can kind of express the clogged glands in the office and get people feeling better a lot faster that way.
Wow, I've never heard of that before. And like I said, I suffer from a lot of these things. So that is interesting. And again, I'm not the only one. So this is
Oh,
great education for others that you've been keeping to yourself, Sarah.
sorry. Well, here I am.
So great. I love it. And do you happen to have, just off the top of your head, a patient success story about your like one of your toughest cases, and then you've been able to help and what that looked like? I know I'm putting you on the
Um,
spot.
I'm like thinking about so many different people. You mean just as far as dry eyes or as
No,
far
just
as
anything.
anything?
What was your toughest case in all your years, and that you were so happy and they were so happy because you were able to make a huge difference because they came to see you?
I see a lot of these, which is really cool. It's really exciting for me, and it's really it can be really emotional too for patients because you will sometimes have people in a situation where they cannot pass their driver's license test or things like that,
Yeah.
because they can't even see well enough with glasses. Like, you know, maybe somebody like your husband, um, so he couldn't see that well with glasses, but fitting contact lenses, and they're able to, you know, get their driver's license, get to work. And so it's kind of just little, it's not a little thing though to that patient, because it's their way, it's their livelihood basically that you're affecting in that situation. So I don't know, I can't think of an isolated one, because there are, you know, it's kind of something that we do on a daily basis.
And it's the
So
little things. It's not necessarily a huge issue that they came in with. What we see, it's even the smallest changes could make a huge difference as far as our ability. And then if you can help us with that, that's a huge thing. So I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I
I'm
just thought if
I
there
can't
was,
say names either.
no, 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 I wouldn't ask you
No.
to say
Yeah.
names. But
Yeah.
there's throughout the years, I know that you're proud of what you do, and there's, that good feeling knowing that you are helping others and it's making a huge difference in their life. In return, their life is much better, and they're making difference in other people's lives. So it's a
It
ripple
trickles
effect that
down.
you're touching.
Yeah.
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 So that's kind of, what I was wondering. And for you, if you're doing it daily, then thank you.
Yeah.